Welcome to Bank Promotion Exam Guide. Presenting a mock test on BR Act 1949 MCQs Part 2, covering 51 multiple choice questions. Question 101. According to Section 27(2) of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, what information can the Reserve Bank request from a banking company? Option A. Only financial statements. Option B. Any information relating to the business or affairs of the banking company. Option C. Only information related to deposits. Option D. Only information related to loans. Think the answer. Correct answer B. Any information relating to the business or affairs of the banking company. The Reserve Bank has broad powers to request information. Question 102. Under what circumstances can the Reserve Bank or the National Bank, NABARD, publish information obtained under the Banking Regulation Act? Option A. Only when directed by the central government. Option B. If they consider it is in the public interest. Option C. Only with the consent of the banking companies. Option D. Only if it pertains to credit information. Think the answer. Correct answer B. If they consider it is in the public interest. The Reserve Bank or the National Bank, NABARD, can publish information if they deem it to be in the public interest. Under Section 28 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, RBI has the power to publish such information. Question 103. For a banking company incorporated in India, who are required to sign the balance sheet and profit and loss account? Option A. Only the manager. Option B. The manager and the principal officer. Option C. The manager or principal officer and at least 3 directors. Option D. Only the directors. Think the answer. Correct answer C. The manager or principal officer and at least 3 directors. This is specified in Section 29(2)(a) of the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Question 104. According to Section 30(1)(a) of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, whose approval is required before appointing or removing an auditor of a banking company? Option A. The central government. Option B. The Reserve Bank. Option C. The Board of Directors. Option D. The shareholders. Think the answer. Correct answer B. The Reserve Bank. Section 30(1)(a) clearly states that the Reserve Bank's approval is necessary. Question 105. Within what time frame after closing of annual accounts must a banking company furnish its accounts and balance sheet to the Reserve Bank? Option A. 1 month. Option B. 2 months. Option C. 3 months. Option D. 6 months. Think the answer. Correct answer C. 3 months. The accounts must be submitted within 3 months from the end of the relevant period. Question 106. What additional extension can the Reserve Bank grant for submitting returns related to closing of annual accounts? Option A, 1 month. Option B, 2 months. Option C, 3 months. Option D, 4 months. Think the answer. Correct answer C, 3 months. The Reserve Bank can extend the period by an additional 3 months. Question 107. Which of the following statements is correct regarding the submission of annual closing related returns by regional rural banks? Option A. They only need to submit returns to the Reserve Bank. Option B. They need to submit returns to the National Bank only. Option C. They need to submit returns to both the Reserve Bank and the National Bank. Option D. They are exempted from submitting any returns. Think the answer. Correct answer C. They need to submit returns to both the Reserve Bank and the National Bank. Regional rural banks must submit returns to both. Question 108. Under Section 31 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what documents are required to be furnished as returns to the Reserve Bank? Option A. Only the balance sheet. Option B. The balance sheet and auditor's report. Option C. The accounts and auditor's report. Option D. The accounts, balance sheet, and auditor's report. Think the answer. Correct answer D. The accounts, balance sheet, and auditor's report. All three documents are required. Question 109. What is the primary obligation of a banking company when it furnishes its accounts and balance sheet under Section 31 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. To submit the documents only to the Reserve Bank. Option B. To submit the documents only to the registrar. Option C. To submit the documents to both the Reserve Bank and the registrar. Option D. To publish the documents in a newspaper. Think the answer. Correct answer C. To submit the documents to both the Reserve Bank and the registrar. Banking companies must provide copies of these documents to both entities. Question 110. Under Section 32(1) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, how many copies of the accounts and balance sheet are required to be sent to the registrar? Option A, 1 copy. Option B, 2 copies. Option C, 3 copies. Option D, 4 copies. Think the answer. Correct answer C, 3 copies. Banking companies are required to send 3 copies of the accounts and balance sheet to the registrar. Question 111. When must a banking company incorporated outside India display its last audited balance sheet and profit and loss account? Option A. By the end of December. Option B. By the first Monday in August. Option C. By the 30th of September. Option D. By the 31st of March. Think the answer. Correct answer B. by the first Monday in August. This is the specific deadline for displaying these documents as mentioned in the Section 33 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949. Question 112. Under what condition can a banking company refuse to produce its books of account in a legal proceeding? Option A. If the company claims the documents are confidential and their disclosure would reveal information about reserves not in the balance sheet. Option B. If the company believes that producing the documents would be detrimental to its business interests. Option C. If the legal proceeding is not directly related to the company's financial activities. Option D. If the company has not been given sufficient notice to produce the documents. Think the answer. Correct answer A. If the company claims the documents are confidential and their disclosure would reveal information about reserves not in the balance sheet. This is a specific condition mentioned in Section 34 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, under which a banking company can refuse to produce documents. Question 113. Under what circumstances is the Reserve Bank required to inspect a banking company? Option A. When requested by the banking company's shareholders. Option B. When directed to do so by the central government. Option C. At the end of every financial year. Option D. It may inspect at any time or when directed to do so by the central government. Think the answer. Correct answer D. It may inspect at any time or when directed to do so by the central government. Under Section 35 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, the Reserve Bank may inspect a banking company at any time and also it is obligated to inspect when directed by the central government. Question 114. Which of the following statements best describes the Section 35 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. It empowers the Reserve Bank to conduct audits of banking companies under any circumstances. Option B. It specifies the conditions under which banking companies can declare dividends. Option C. It grants the Reserve Bank the authority to issue directions to banking companies in the interest of the public, banking policy, preventing detrimental affairs, or securing proper management, and allows the Reserve Bank to modify or cancel such directions. Option D. It outlines the process for amalgamation of banking companies. Think the answer. Correct answer C. It grants the Reserve Bank the authority to issue directions to banking companies in the interest of the public, banking policy, preventing detrimental affairs, or securing proper management, and allows the Reserve Bank to modify or cancel such directions. This option accurately reflects the core purpose and content of Section 35A. Question 115. Who is authorized to issue directions to banking companies to initiate the insolvency resolution process under Section 35A? Option A. The Reserve Bank, with authorization from the central government. Option B. The central government, independently. Option C. The Reserve Bank, independently. Option D. A court of law. Think the answer. Correct answer A. The Reserve Bank, with authorization from the central government. The central government authorize the Reserve Bank. Question 116. Under Section 35(ab) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what actions can the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, take? Option A. Issue directions to banking companies for stressed assets resolution. Option B. Specify authorities or committees to advise on stressed asset resolution. Option C. Both A and B. Option D. Neither A nor B. Think the answer. Correct answer C. Both A and B. The RBI can issue directions and specify advisory bodies for stressed asset resolution. Question 117. According to Section 35(b) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what is required for the appointment or reappointment of a managing director in a banking company to be effective? Option A. Approval by the bank's shareholders. Option B. Approval by the central government. Option C. Previous approval of the Reserve Bank. Option D. Notification to the stock exchange. Think the answer. Correct answer C. Previous approval of the Reserve Bank. Section 35(b) explicitly requires the Reserve Bank's prior approval for such appointments. Question 118. What is the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, required to submit to the central government under Section 36 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. Quarterly reports on the banking sector. Option B. An annual report on the trend and progress of banking. Option C. Monthly reports on individual bank performance. Option D. Special reports on request. Think the answer. Correct answer B. An annual report on the trend and progress of banking. The RBI must provide an annual report to the central government. Question 119. Under what conditions can the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, remove a director of a banking company from office, according to Section 36 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. If it is in the public interest. Option B. To prevent the affairs of the company from being conducted against the depositor's interest. Option C. To secure the proper management of the banking company. Option D. All of the above. Think the answer. Correct answer D. All of the above. The RBI can remove a director under any of these conditions. Question 120. If a person is removed from their position in a banking company under Section 36A, for how long can they be restricted from being involved in the management of any banking company? Option A. A maximum of 3 years. Option B. A maximum of 5 years. Option C. A maximum of 10 years. Option D. There is no restriction. Think the answer. Correct answer B. A maximum of 5 years. The restriction period is specified in the order but cannot exceed 5 years. Question 121. What is the maximum term of office for an additional director appointed by the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, under Section 36A of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A, 2 years. Option B, 3 years. Option C, 5 years. Option D, 10 years. Think the answer. Correct answer B, 3 years. Additional directors can hold office for up to 3 years at a time. Question 122. Under what circumstances can the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, supersede the board of directors of a banking company, according to Section 36 ACA of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. If it is in the public interest. Option B. To prevent the affairs of the company from being conducted against the depositor's interest. Option C. To secure the proper management of the banking company. Option D. All of the above. Think the answer. Correct answer D. All of the above. The RBI has the power to supersede the board under these conditions. Question 123. What is the maximum period for which the board of directors of a banking company can be superseded by the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, in an initial order? Option A, 3 months. Option B, 6 months. Option C, 1 year. Option D, 2 years. Think the answer. Correct answer B, 6 months. The initial period of supersession cannot exceed 6 months. Question 124. According to Section 36 AD of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, which of the following actions is prohibited? Option A. Organizing peaceful protests outside a banking company. Option B. Obstructing any person from lawfully entering a banking company. Option C. Requesting information from bank employees. Option D. Expressing dissatisfaction with banking services. Think the answer. Correct answer B. Obstructing any person from lawfully entering a banking company. This is explicitly prohibited under Section 36 AD 1. Question 125. Under what condition may the High Court order a stay on proceedings against a banking company, according to Section 37 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. If the banking company is facing a temporary liquidity crunch. Option B. If the banking company is unable to meet its obligations. Option C. If the banking company applies for it, and the Reserve Bank reports that the company can pay its debts if the application is granted. Option D, both B and C. Think the answer. Correct answer D, both B and C. The High Court can order a stay if the company is unable to meet obligations and the Reserve Bank supports it. Question 126. What is the maximum period for which the High Court can grant a stay, moratorium, on proceedings against a banking company under Section 37 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A, 3 months. Option B, 6 months. Option C, 1 year. Option D, 2 years. Think the answer. Correct answer B. 6 months. The total moratorium period cannot exceed 6 months. Question 127. Under what circumstances shall the High Court order the winding up of a banking company, according to Section 38 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. If the banking company is unable to pay its debts. Option B. If an application for its winding up has been made by the Reserve Bank under Section 37 or this section. Option C. Both A and B. Option D. If the banking company is facing temporary losses. Think the answer. Correct answer C. Both A and B. The High Court is mandated to order winding up under these conditions. Question 128. According to Section 39 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, who may be appointed as the official liquidator of a banking company in winding up proceedings? Option A. Any individual. Option B. The Reserve Bank of India. Option C. The State Bank of India. Option D. All of the above. Think the answer. Correct answer D. All of the above. The Reserve Bank, the State Bank of India, any other bank notified by the central government or any individual, as stated in the application, may be appointed. Question 129. According to Section 40 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, under what condition can the High Court order a stay of proceedings in the winding up of a banking company? Option A. If the company has a plan to restructure its debts. Option B. If the company can demonstrate potential profitability. Option C. Unless the High Court is satisfied that an arrangement has been made whereby the company can pay its depositors in full as their claims accrue. Option D. If the company secures a loan from another bank. Think the answer. Correct answer C. Unless the High Court is satisfied that an arrangement has been made whereby the company can pay its depositors in full as their claims accrue. This is the specific condition outlined in the Act. Question 130. According to Section 44B of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what is required for the High Court to sanction a compromise or arrangement between a banking company and its creditors? Option A. Approval by the company's shareholders. Option B. Certification by the Reserve Bank. Option C. Consent of the company's directors. Option D. Permission from the central government. Think the answer. Correct answer B. Certification by the Reserve Bank. The compromise or arrangement must be certified by the Reserve Bank. Question 131. Under what conditions can the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, apply to the central government for an order of moratorium in respect of a banking company, according to Section 45 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. If the banking company is facing temporary financial difficulties. Option B. If the Reserve Bank believes there is good reason to do so. Option C. If the majority of depositors request it. Option D. Only under directives from the Supreme Court. Think the answer. Correct answer B. If the Reserve Bank believes there is good reason to do so. The RBI's judgment is the key condition. Question 132. According to Section 45(4) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, under what circumstances may the Reserve Bank prepare a scheme for the reconstruction or amalgamation of a banking company? Option A. If it is in the public interest. Option B. In the interests of the depositors. Option C. To secure the proper management of the banking company. Option D. All of the above. Think the answer. Correct answer D. All of the above. The RBI may prepare a scheme under any of these circumstances. Question 133. According to Section 45(f)(1) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, are entries in the books of account of a banking company admissible as evidence in legal proceedings? Option A. No, they are not admissible. Option B. They are admissible only under certain conditions. Option C. Yes, they are admissible in all legal proceedings. Option D. They are admissible only if certified by a court order. Think the answer. Correct answer C. Yes, they are admissible in all legal proceedings. The Act explicitly states their admissibility. Question 134. How can entries in the books of account of a banking company be proved according to Section 45(f)(1) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. By producing the original books of account. Option B. By producing a copy of the entries certified by the official liquidator. Option C. Both A and B. Option D. Only by producing the original books of account if demanded by the court. Think the answer. Correct answer C. Both A and B. The entries can be proved by producing either the original books or a certified copy. Question 135. According to Section 45(y) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, who is empowered to make rules regarding the preservation of records by banking companies? Option A. The Reserve Bank of India. Option B. The central government. Option C. The banking companies themselves. Option D. A committee appointed by the government. Think the answer. Correct answer B. The central government. The authority to make these rules is given to the central government. Question 136. What is the primary focus of Section 45(y) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949? Option A. To regulate the daily operations of banking companies. Option B. To specify the periods for which banking companies must preserve their records. Option C. To outline the penalties for not preserving records. Option D. To mandate the digitization of all banking records. Think the answer. Correct answer B. To specify the periods for which banking companies must preserve their records. This is the main purpose of this section. Question 137. according to Section 45Z of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what must a banking company do before returning a paid instrument to a customer? Option A. Obtain permission from the Reserve Bank of India. Option B. Ensure that the instrument has cleared. Option C. Make and keep a true copy of all relevant parts of such instrument. Option D. Charge a fee to the customer. Think the answer. Correct answer C. Make and keep a true copy of all relevant parts of such instrument. This is a mandatory requirement before returning the instrument. Question 138. Under Section 45Z(2) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, can a banking company recover the costs associated with making copies of the instrument? Option A. No, the banking company must bear these costs. Option B. Yes, the banking company is entitled to recover these costs from the customer. Option C. The banking company can only recover costs if the customer agrees. Option D. The banking company can recover costs only from commercial customers. Think the answer. Correct answer B. Yes, the banking company is entitled to recover these costs from the customer. The Act allows for the recovery of these costs. Question 139. According to Section 45ZA(1) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, who can nominate a person to receive the amount of a deposit? Option A. Only the banking company. Option B. The depositor or all depositors. Option C. Any relative of the depositor. Option D. A legal guardian of the depositor. Think the answer. Correct answer B. The depositor or all depositors. The depositors has the right to make the nomination. Question 140. Under Section 45ZA(2) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what right does the nominee have upon the depositor's death? Option A. The right to claim ownership of the deposit. Option B. The right to be paid the deposit amount, subject to any existing debt of the deceased depositors to the banking company. Option C. The right to invest the deposit amount on behalf of the deceased depositor's family. Option D. The right to decide how the deposit amount is to be distributed among the deceased depositor's legal heirs. Think the answer. Correct answer B. The right to be paid the deposit amount, subject to any existing debt of the deceased depositors to the banking company. Question 141. According to Section 45ZA(3) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, if the nominee is a minor, to whom shall the banking company pay the deposit amount? Option A. Only to the legal guardian of the minor nominee. Option B. To the appointee of the depositors or the court-appointed guardian. Option C. To the deceased depositor's eldest child. Option D. The banking company has the discretion to decide. Think the answer. Correct answer B. To the appointee of the depositors or the court-appointed guardian. Question 142. According to Section 45ZA 4 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what happens to the banking company's liability upon making a payment to a nominee? Option A. The banking company is discharged from any further liability. Option B. The banking company remains liable until all legal heirs have made their claims. Option C. The banking company is liable only if the payment was incorrect. Option D. The banking company's liability reduces to half the deposit amount. Think the answer. Correct answer A. The banking company is discharged from any further liability. Question 143. According to Section 45 ZC 1 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, who is authorized to nominate a person to receive articles kept in safe custody with a banking company? Option A. The banking company. Option B. Any relative of the person who deposited the articles. Option C. The person who left the articles in safe custody. Option D. A legal advisor of the depositor. Think the answer. Correct answer C. The person who left the articles in safe custody. Question 144. What procedure does Section 45 ZC 3 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, require a banking company to follow before returning articles to a nominee? Option A. Obtain approval from the Reserve Bank of India. Option B. Prepare an inventory of the articles. Option C. Verify the nominee's identity. Option D. Obtain a court order. Think the answer. Correct answer B. Prepare an inventory of the articles. Question 145. According to Section 45 ZC 4 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what rights does a nominee have regarding the return of the articles upon the death of the person who left them in safe custody? Option A. The nominee has the right to decide who should receive the articles. Option B. The nominee becomes entitled to receive the articles unless the nomination is varied or cancelled. Option C. The nominee can claim the articles only if there is no will. Option D. The nominee must share the articles with other legal heirs. Think the answer. Correct answer B. The nominee becomes entitled to receive the articles unless the nomination is varied or cancelled. Question 146. According to Section 46, 1 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, what is the punishment for making a false statement in any document required under this Act? Option A. A fine of 10,000 rupees. Option B. Imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 year. Option C. Imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years and a fine which may extend to 1 crore rupees. Option D. Only a warning. Think the answer. Correct answer C. Imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years and a fine which may extend to 1 crore rupees. Question 147. What is the penalty under Section 46(2) of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, for failing to produce documents or furnish information as required under subsection 2 of Section 35? Option A. A fine of 5,000 rupees. Option B. A fine which may extend to 20 lakh rupees. Option C. Imprisonment for up to 6 months. Option D. Both A and B. Think the answer. Correct answer B. A fine which may extend to 20 lakh rupees. Question 148. According to Section 47 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, under what condition can a court take cognizance of an offence punishable under the Act? Option A. Upon a complaint filed by any member of the public. Option B. Upon a complaint in writing made by an officer of the Reserve Bank or the National Bank. Option C. Upon a complaint filed by a creditor of the banking company. Option D. At the court's own discretion. Think the answer. Correct answer B. Upon a complaint in writing made by an officer of the Reserve Bank or the NABARD. The Act specifies that a written complaint by an authorized officer from these entities is required. Question 149. According to Section 51 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, do the powers of the Reserve Bank extend to an international financial services center? Option A. Yes, the powers of the Reserve Bank extend to such centers. Option B. No, the powers of the Reserve Bank do not extend to such centers. Option C. The powers extend only under certain conditions. Option D. The powers extend only partially. Think the answer. Correct answer B. No, the powers of the Reserve Bank do not extend to such centers. Question 150. According to Section 51 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, which authority exercises powers in relation to the regulation of financial products, financial services, and financial institutions within the international financial services centers? Option A. The Central Government. Option B. The Securities and Exchange Board of India. Option C. The International Financial Services Centers Authority. Option D. The respective regulatory authority as per the law for the time being in force. Think the answer. Correct answer C. The International Financial Services Centers Authority. Question 151. According to Section 56 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, how do the provisions of this Act apply to cooperative societies? Option A. The Act applies to cooperative societies without any modifications. Option B. The Act does not apply to cooperative societies. Option C. The Act applies to cooperative societies with specific modifications. Option D. The Act applies to cooperative societies only under certain conditions specified by the central government. Think the answer. Correct answer C. The Act applies to cooperative societies with specific modifications. Section 56 details the modifications under which the Act applies to cooperative societies. Quiz completed. Thank you for participating. For more resources, visit Bank Promotion Exam Guide.